She had survived 2 jobs, a broken marriage, and a city that never once slowed down for her. But tonight, on a rain-slicked street with nowhere left to run, the thing that finally stopped her cold was a stranger's quiet voice. Come, sit with me for just a moment, because this is the kind of story that reminds you that the world still has good people in it. Nora Ellison is 26 years old, but some mornings she wakes up feeling 50. She lives in a 1-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor of a building that smells like old wood and someone else's cooking. The radiator knocks at 2 in the morning. The carpet is thin, and on the small kitchen table between a cold cup of coffee and a stack of unopened envelopes sits a photograph. It is a picture of her daughter, Lily, 3 years old, pigtails, a gap-toothed smile so wide it looks almost painful. Nora keeps it propped against the sugar bowl because some days it is the only thing that makes her put her shoes on. Nora works the early shift at a care home on the east side of the city. Then she takes 2 buses to reach her second job, a data entry position at a small insurance firm where nobody knows her name. She eats lunch at her desk. She does not complain. She has learned over time that complaining changes very little and costs quite a lot. Lily stays with Nora's mother on weekdays. Her mother is kind but tired. The apartment is small. There is no spare room, no spare money, and no spare energy. Nora is saving for a deposit on a 2-bedroom. She has been saving for 14 months. She is still $400 short. She carries a worn leather wallet that once belonged to her grandmother. Inside it is a folded note her grandmother wrote her years ago, the ink faded now, barely legible, that reads simply, "You were made for more than enduring, sweetheart. Don't forget." Tonight she is leaving the insurance office at 9:30. The last bus runs at 10. She has 11 minutes to walk 6 blocks. And the sky, without warning, has opened completely. The rain comes down in sheets, not the gentle, kind. The kind that soaks through a coat in 30 seconds flat, that turns the gutters into small rivers, that makes the city look like it is being rinsed of something. Nora cuts through Alderman Street. It is not her usual route. But the wind is against her on the main road, and her umbrella, a cheap folding one with a broken rib, has finally given up entirely. She tucks it under her arm and walks faster. She does not notice them at first. 3 young men, late teens, maybe early 20s. They are standing under the shallow overhang of a shuttered hardware store, hoods up, shoulders hunched against the cold. One of them is laughing about something. Another is watching the street. The third one sees Nora before she sees him. She hears it before she understands it. The shift in tone. The way laughter cools into something else. A few words she cannot quite make out. Then footsteps coming off the curb. She walks faster. The footsteps keep pace. Hey, wait. The voice is not threatening exactly, but it is not friendly either. It is the voice of a young man who has not yet decided which one he wants to be. Nora stops. Because running feels wrong and staying feels wrong, and for a strange, stretched moment she simply stands there. Rain coming down. Canvas bag against her chest. 3 of them now arranged loosely in front of her. Not touching. Not yet. But close enough. She thinks of Lily. The gap-toothed smile, the pigtails. She breathes. And then, a bicycle. Bell. A single, cheerful ting, completely out of place. Silas Grant rounds the corner on his delivery bike. Yellow jacket soaked through, a thermal bag strapped to the back rack, completely unbothered by the rain. He is 22. He has the kind of face that is easy to underestimate, soft around the edges, unhurried, but his eyes are sharp. He reads a scene the way a person reads a room when they have had to learn to do it fast. He sees it in 2 seconds. The woman, the posture, the 3, the space between them. He does not call out. He does not announce himself. He simply rides. The bike right up to the group, stops it with one easy foot and says, in a completely ordinary voice, as if he has been expected, "Hey, Nora, sorry I'm late. You ready?" He does not know her name. He has never met her in his life. He simply picked the most ordinary thing a person could say and said it with such complete, unhurried certainty that the entire street seemed to pause. For a moment, nobody moves. The young man who had been speaking, the one who had not yet decided what he wanted to be, looks at Silas. Silas looks back. Not hard, not aggressive, just steady. The way a person looks when they have been in difficult rooms before and came out the other side, and something passes between them, something quiet and unspoken, a kind of recognition, because Silas Grant grew up 4 blocks from this very street. He knows what it feels like to stand in a group like that and not be entirely sure how you got there. He knows the weight of it. He does not say any of this. He just holds the look. The young man looks away first. He pulls his hood tighter and says something low to the others. There is a beat. Then they drift back under the overhang, not running, not shamed, just redirected, as if they suddenly remembered somewhere else they needed to be. Nora has not moved. She is looking at Silas. Her mouth is slightly open. The rain is still coming down. She is very still. Silas turns to her. He does not make a big show of what just happened. He just says, quietly, genuinely, "You all right?" And that is when it happens. Not loudly, not dramatically. But something in Nora's chest, something she has been holding compressed for a very long time, shifts. Her eyes fill up. She blinks it back quickly. She nods. "Yeah," she says. Her voice is steady. "Yeah, I'm all right." Silas nods once. He pulls a slightly crumpled takeout bag from his thermal case, somebody's canceled order, and holds it out. "You eatin'? I've got cold dumplings and a spring roll. It's not much, but—" Nora laughs. She cannot help it. A real laugh, sudden and surprised, cutting right through the rain and the tension and the long, long day. She takes the bag. Silas walks his bike beside her the rest of the way to the bus stop. 6 blocks. They talk, not about what happened, but about small things. His delivery route. Her daughter's new favorite word, which is actually. The way the city looks different in the rain, like something is being washed clean. The number 12 bus arrives 4 minutes late, which tonight feels like a gift. At the stop, Nora reaches into her canvas bag and pulls out a slightly damp business card. It is from the insurance firm, her name on it, and a number. She holds it out to Silas. "My name really is Nora," she says. Silas takes the card. He smiles, just a small one, the kind that means more than a big one. "I know," he says. "I heard you say it on the phone when you walked around the corner." She stares at him for a second. Then she shakes her head slowly, still smiling. The bus doors open. She steps on. She does not look for him through the window, but she knows he is still there. She can feel it, the way you feel warmth from a fire even when you have turned away from it. That night, Nora puts Lily's photograph back on the table beside the cold coffee and the stack of envelopes. She sits down in the kitchen chair. She is still damp. Her feet ache. The radiator knocks. She unfolds her grandmother's note. She reads it. For the first time in a long while, she believes it. Grandparents' wisdom. Closing lines. Sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is simply show up for a stranger. You do not need to know someone's whole story to know that they need a soft place to land. Kindness does not always announce itself. Sometimes it just rings a bicycle bell in the rain and says your name like it knows you. The world is not always gentle, but gentle people are still in it. Look for them, and when you find one, be sure to thank them, because the small acts, The warm word, the open hand, the meal shared with a stranger, those are the ones we carry longest.